dark clouds just appearing, which may cause a threat for some of these races for the start of this afternoon. But for now, the track, by the looks of it, is completely dry. So the first time that the Minimaxes will have a dry circuit out there. The way the grid lines up then for this race is as follows. It will have on pole position Chris Hannon on the left-hand side of the track, and it will be Ollie Pilker alongside him, winner of the first race this morning. Someone's getting very leery there on this warm-up lap. Row 2 then sees the likes of Jacek Spinkovic with Giraffe Kendi on the second row. Back on row 3 we have Linus Henson with Victor Bozanek. Then to row 4 it's going to be Gianni Androzani with Dominic Reuters, and last on the grid we'll have Robert Dahan to round out the 9 starters for this Minimax category. Earlier on, as I said, it was Ollie Pilker who took the victory in some good style, but he was pushed all the way from the likes of Chris Hannon, who made a little bit of a mistake in that first heat in the wet conditions, which is understandable, but he clawed his way back through to challenge Ollie Pilker. This time though, in dry conditions, where he set of course the qualifying time from yesterday, he may do a little bit better. A few did struggle this morning as well, the likes of Giraffe Kendi, as we said, just like the Winter Cup, really struggled on Saturday but then came through on Sunday, and that's seeming to be the same scenario here today. There is the 1 lap to go then on this warm-up lap, and just as I said, the rain had gone. Well, you can just see a few spots on the camera we had there starting to fall once more, so this is just our luck really, isn't it? You get rid of all the wet weather, as soon as it dries right up there's now a chance of more rain on circuit, so they're going to have to be quick to get round here, keep that warmth up in the tyres as well, because it's not the warmest of days here. It's warmer than previous years, but 12 degrees is our high for the time being. As there's Giraffe Kendi on picture at the minute, kart 411, getting himself into what's going to be 4th on the grid, and then everyone else behind will start to line up as well. And to be fair, many of these competitors should now all be on slick tyres, which means if we do get any rain, it's going to be very, very slippy out there indeed. So everyone working their way round to the grid, and we may have, I think we're going to get the start this time. We are, yep. So everyone up towards the top of the circuit through turn number 8, and now in that formation, being slowed down by the marshals and making sure they're all in good formation. And now the pace starting to be built once again by the man on pole position, Chris Hannon. Can he keep himself there this time round? Again being slowed even further down towards the final corner, but all 9 are set to go. 7 laps for the Minimax competitors as they come into the final corner now. Again through the grid hatchings they'll have to go, and then it'll be lights out and time to go racing once more for the Minimax. Through they come, and we get racing this time then. Down towards the first corner they go, already into the lead from our pole position, Chris Hannon, but Ollie Pilker trying to get to that inside line, which is very crucial here at the Genk track as they go through nicely turn number 1. Still Chris Hannon that leads. Up to second now has come 412, which is Jacek Spinkovic. Is he going to hold it on Ollie Pilker? The two teammates get very, very close for company on towards turn 3 and 4 they now head, and down the inside line goes Ollie Pilker to pick up second position. He knows he needs to do these moves very early on, but here comes Jacek Spinkovic to fight back then side by side for the two teammates. Down off the back straight they go in towards the right hander at turn 6, and just round the outside sweeping through there will be Ollie Pilker, so he gets the job done up into second. Jacek Spinkovic now down to third. 4th place is going to be the kart there of 420, by the looks of it was at 421. Whoever it is has made a great start from the back. Yes, Robert Dahan, who's come through from 9th on the grid up to 4th place. He's then followed by 415, which is Victor Bozanek, but our leader, that man there, 419, Chris Hannon, is the man who charges through to the final corner on this first lap to be completed, with 2 guys right behind him here, that of Ollie Pilker and of course 412. Jacek Spinkovic just starting to break away from the rest of the pack already as they trundle their way through the first turn, heading now on towards the left hander at turn number 2. Very, very close behind are the 2 guys there of Ollie Pilker and Jacek Spinkovic. Ollie's going to probably be the first man to launch for a move, but where is it going to go? Where's it going to come from? How long is it going to take as well, Ollie Pilker, to get the job done? Although saying that, working his way down the back straight there, Chris Hannon is already starting to pull away. So a nice little gap now between the top 2, which is growing to half a second. Jacek Spinkovic there in 3rd place is now a couple of tenths back from that as well. So gaps ebbing and flowing. A little bit closer this time round after the hairpin, as they now come back down towards the grandstand at turn number 9. This is a good drive so far from Chris Hannon. He just needs to make no mistakes. That's the key factor within this race for Chris Hannon. he needs a shot of getting on pole position for tomorrow's pre-final, which would mean a good result in this race as they power towards the line once more. Quick look over the shoulder for Chris Hannon just to see where the guys behind are. Well, I can tell you Ollie Pilker is closer once more now, 3/10 adrift as a bit of pushing is going on there, pushing and shoving from Duraf Kendi, and I think that was Gianni Andrezzani in there as well in 4.46. So those two are nose to tail for what's going to be 6th and 7th place, and they run slightly wide there, just Gianni Andrezzani. So Duraf Kendi now fights back and gets up to 6th position as they head their way on towards the back straight. The leaders now separated by what was 3/10 of a second at the end of the first sector. That grows to half a second. So I think Ollie Pilker will do well in the second half of the lap. That's where he seems to be a lot quicker, whereas Chris Hannon is the man who's quickest through the first half of the lap. So they are with their own abilities and the best part of the track, and for now once again Ollie Pilker starting to bring the gap down as they head through the right hander at turn 9. You can just see there as well, much tighter line being taken from the man in second as this fight now for what's going to be 5th place. I think that's Victor Bosnek that leads that group. He's got everyone else now behind him with Duraf Kendi in there, now looking for the inside line on what's going to be, it was Gianni Andrezzani, but now coming through is going to be Linus Henson, who moves up into 7th place. A great 5-way fight there, 2 together at the front as well between Chris Hannon and Ollie Pilker. No further quickest lap has come through just yet. That still sits with Ollie in second, 106.689. Chris Hannon not too far adrift on a 106.723, but here's the man that still leads the race out front as they work their way on towards the right hander at turn 6. Third place man not too far back as well here, Jacek Spinkovic, just hanging on by a very small thread at the minute, so if anything does unfold ahead of him, he'll be the first man to pick up all the pieces. In third place he is then, down towards the right hander at turn 9, they head once more. Chris Hannon fighting hard now with the gap increasing to 7/10 of a second, so Ollie Pilker hasn't quite managed to keep the gap as close as before as this fight continues then for what's 5th on backwards. In fact 4th on backwards now. Victor Bosnek is just about getting away there, or is he? No, I don't think it is. It's Jacek Spinkovic they're actually catching up with here, so another change for the top 5 on backwards from 4th place. So Gianni Andrezzani now gets up into 4th place. This is more of the speed we're used to seeing from him, although it gets a bit congested through turn 1 there, where coming through now is going to be the kart of Henson, isn't it? Henson's now up into 4th place. Gianni Andrezzani's down to 5th. 6th place is going to be Victor Bosnek, and then 7th place is the kart of Robert DeHaan, Duraf Kendi and Dominic Reuters, just about with them as well now in 9th place. No, he's not. He's down there, in fact, on his own because Duraf Kendi was the kart I just saw there trying to make a move in towards the chicane at turn 6. Here are the leaders once more then, still as close as ever. The gap has decreased once more. It was 7/10 of a second. We're now down to 4/10 at the end of sector number 2. So Ollie Pilker just had a lap or so off the pace, but now he's back with Chris Hannon once more as they turn down towards the final corner. There's another great scrap going on between Spinkovic and Henson, isn't it? With Gianni Andrezzani now into 3rd place. So great move there from Gianni. He's now in 3rd, pulling away as well. Head down for the youngster as he turns his way in towards the first corner. Let's see if he can catch the top 2. Probably not, because he's 2.6 seconds back, but he's just gone and done the quickest lap of anyone, which was a second quicker than the leader. So this is a great turn of speed from Gianni Andrezzani, a 106.646 here. Watch to see what he can do. Let's try and get him back on form as he's now passed by our 4th place man Linus Henson, who runs through on the inside line and then gets a nice run down the back straight. So Linus Henson now into 3rd, Andrezzani, who was going quicker, now into 4th place as the top 2 work their way through the right hander at turn 7. There's the fight for 3rd. Henson ahead of Andrezzani. What they need to do really now is work together to try and catch the top 2. When you say work together in karts, they don't really go hand in hand, do they? But that's what they need to do ideally if they want to have a chance of getting themselves inside the top 2 places. Top 2 meantime on towards the final corner then. Chris Hannon still the leader ahead of Ollie Pilker by 3/10 of a second. So once more it comes down between the top 2. The threat of rain has not increased to anything else. It has stayed just a threat. No spots falling from the sky. So still dry conditions as Gianni Andrezzani goes down the inside line for 3rd place and just behind the top 2. There he goes, the green and white machine, but fighting back again goes the cart of Linus Henson. So Linus Henson in 4-1-8 now back up into third place, and look how close they are now to the top two. So while they've been fighting, it's now going to be a four-way fight for the lead. We're on to the last lap, so they need to think quick here. Linus Henson looking for a move on our second place man, Ollie Pilker, who's slow out the corner. He's going to be passed surely down towards turn number 6 on the inside line. Linus Henson goes through into second place. He gets the job done slightly wide there, nearly clipped the barriers, but he managed to hold on to it. Can he, Linus Henson, get onto terms with Chris Hannon on this last lap? Gianni Androzani goes through as well. Can he hold on to third on the exit? Yes, he can. He'll have the inside line down towards turn number 9. Just wonder if they've gone for a completely different strategy and maybe different tyres as well. Well, whatever it is for these two guys is working very nicely. One more corner. Here comes Linus Henson down the inside line at the final corner. He gets the race lead in Minimax on the last lap of the last corner. Linus Henson going to come through. He's going to take the checkered flag ahead of everybody else. What a race that was for the youngster. Linus Henson takes victory by 0.3 of a second, and he got the job done on the last lap. He took Gianni Androzani with him, not quite to second place, but at least a third. That was a storming drive from Linus Henson. As I said, just wonder if they were on different tyres before that race, whether the top two were on wets and then they started to deteriorate, but it was pretty much dry for the whole of the race. I'm not too sure what happened there, but Linus Henson is classified as our winner after 7 laps. He wins by 0.3 of a second ahead of our poleman Chris Haddam. So again, unlucky not to get the victory there was Chris. Third place goes to the German racer Gianni